Good morning, UUSS. Those here today and those far away, if you would join in singing this morning a rousing rendition of "Oh, We Give Thanks." Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, echoing. Oh, we give thanks. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Once more, oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Good morning. And welcome to our Sunday service. I'm Roger Jones, happy to serve as one of the ministers here at UUSS. Whether you are here in person or participating online, we are glad to be with you. Thank you to everyone who got up early today. And if you made it, congratulations. And after the service, please give a warm welcome to those who show up an hour from now and wonder why they're getting here just in time for coffee hour. The mission of our congregation says we come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world. Toward this end, we honor the Nishanan, Southern Maidu, and Miwok peoples for their enduring commitment to this land where UUSS exists. They have never ceded, left, nor ceased to care for this land. Tonight is the first night of Ramadan, the holiest month in the Muslim calendar. Blessings to those among us in our UUSS community who will be observing the daily fast, as well as to our Muslim neighbors in this area. The words for blessed Ramadan are Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. For those on Zoom today, if you'd like to follow what's happening in the service with an order of service, you can find that by clicking the link in the chat. And the order of service is also on the table in the back. And everybody who downloads or picks up a copy of the order of service will get extra credit for any mistakes or discrepancies that you identify between that and the actual service. And if you are new or you're seeking even more extra credit for your close reading, the blue sheet has our weekly calendar and upcoming events. It's an important guide to finding activities of interest to you. You can find the blue sheet on the back table and on our website. Our weekly message comes out by email, comes out every Friday, and it includes announcements and a little note from one of the ministerial staff. We are happy to send you this email if you can fill out a newcomer's form either by a link in the chat or at the greeters table after the service. Today, after the service on Zoom, if you're with us on Zoom, hang around. There will be 22 minutes to get acquainted in Zoom breakout rooms and extend a welcome to other people. If you're here in person, we have coffee, tea, refreshments, and conversation, and opportunities to connect you'll see in the welcome hall. In recognition of Daylight Saving Day, our Brew Crew volunteers will have a good supply of regular coffee and decaf for those of you who don't need it and are very proud of that. In the spirit of hospitality, I hope you will take the opportunity to introduce yourself today to just one person that you don't know. This is not for extra credit. This is a basic element of being part of a caring community. There are two opportunities to connect and learn with others after the service. One is the monthly newcomers orientation and tour of the campus. It will start at the welcome table out there about 10 or 15 minutes after the service, and it will last until about 1 o'clock. Childcare will continue if you would like to take advantage of that during the after-church programs. And today's orientation and tour will be led by Rosemary Dodd, our ministerial intern, so look for Rosemary. And the other activity is the monthly conversation with our Justice and Equity team. If you'd like to find out more about how our congregation is engaging with issues of racial equity and inclusion, please join them here in the sanctuary after you get your coffee. Now is the time to turn off anything that might make noise and embarrass you or wake somebody up during the sermon. Not today's sermon, however. No.
Not to worry.
Yes. So please turn off ringers and chimes. And as you do that, I'd like to introduce you to a dear friend and much respected colleague, the Reverend Vail Weller. I have known Vail for nearly 27 years. We met when I was a new minister in the South Bay, and she was a seminary student at Pacific School of Religion in Berkeley. Vail is the mother of two wonderful children who somehow became wonderful young adults. And she is a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. She has served congregations in West Virginia, Michigan, and San Mateo, where she resides. For the past 15 years, Vail has served our UU movement on the staff of the Unitarian Universalist Association. Vail, welcome, and come on up.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much, dear friend Roger. And it's so good to be with all of you and see some beloved familiar faces and hopefully get to know some new friends today. As Roger said, I'm Vail Weller, and I'm Senior Philanthropic Advisor at the UUA. And I want to bring you greetings today from more than 1,000 congregations across the association, which is the network of Unitarian Universalists that bring our faith to life. This congregation is a member congregation in the Association of Congregations. There is also a structure and a staff that we call the UUA, people whom we empower to serve our faith regionally and nationally. And I am one of those. My ministry focuses on strengthening financial support for the movement, particularly through congregational giving to the annual program fund, as well as with individual donors and families who wish to support the larger faith financially, philanthropically. The UUA has a mission to equip congregations for vital ministry, support and train leaders, both lay and professional, and to advance UU values in the world. You make this mission possible. These are things that no individual congregation can do alone. We are far more together than we can possibly be separately. We need each other, and as you know, the stakes right now are very high. A strengthened Unitarian Universalism brings hope, healing, justice, and joy to a world in need of our values. UU Society of Sacramento is one of the 50 most generous honor congregations in our association. This means that you give the full amount requested annually to support your sibling congregations across the UUA, and that you are among the most generous of those honor congregations. So, when Roger invited me to come, I jumped at the chance to be here with you this morning to bring you greetings as a representative of the association, but also to say thank you for your leadership, for the gift that your ministers and congregational leaders are to our region and our UUA, and for your consistent, dedicated generosity. Thank you. The chalice lighting words come from Reverend Dr. David Usher, and I'm going to invite Archer forward to light the chalice. Open your hearts to the wonder of worship. Open your minds to the eternal quest for meaning and truth. Open your eyes to the miracle of creation. Open your arms to the embrace of your fellow travelers. Open your souls and let the divine sweep in.
Inspired by the hope of that message, I'd like to invite up all those involved in RE, child and adult alike, to make your way out to the welcome hall as we guide you in singing your song. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. gotta put one foot in front of the other one. One foot, lead with love. One foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love.
We do have junior high youth group today, I'd like to mention, and I will be heading out to join them after my prayer. If you see me leave, that's why. But I'd like to take a moment now to invite you all to arrive here in this space in whichever way works best for you. So take a deep breath if you like. Stretch, center yourself in your seat, wiggle your toes. In this gathered community, we take time each week to mark moments in our own lives and in the lives of our community members. This time is sacred because of the joining of our lives into beloved community. And in our connections with one another, the divine reveals itself. So settle into this time, knowing that you are sacred exactly as you are, and listen now for what your heartbeat is bringing to our community today. From our members, I bring several sorrows. Our former member, Mary Jean Anderson, passed away on March 6th, a day before her 90th birthday. Jean and her late husband, Bill, were members of the UU Community Church of Sacramento, and then UUSS before moving to the Monterey area. We extend our condolences and hold her family and friends in our love and care. Anne Gerhardt is marking 2 years since a medical crisis while out of state nearly ended her life, and she spent 5 weeks in a hospital recovering. Unfortunately, she says that she was discharged to Sacramento doctors whose care was not compassionate. The good news is that in her discouragement, she began attending Sunday services again at UUSS. We are glad you are here too, Anne. We hold these sorrows in our hearts, along with all those joys and sorrows unvoiced and held within each of you. Please join me now as I share this prayer from Anna Blodell. Darling one, you precious mess, you exhausted, grieving, hollowed, hallowed hallelujah of a human. Today, if even for a moment you may feel your own beating heart, your own courageous core, your chest rising and falling with breath, which is spirit, which is life force, keeping pulse, marking time, finding space. Regardless of how you are feeling, no matter what you are capable of or not, and just for a moment, may you find rest, a bit of ease, held in that sacred rhythm that cannot be without you. Because you precious mess, have breath and heart and life force pulsing through you, yet. Please join me now for a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Amen.
Good morning. I'm Dawn Huebner, your worship associate for today. Our reading comes from Robin Wall Kimmerer from Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. What should be our response to the generosity of the more than human world? In a world that gives us maple syrup, spotted salamanders, and sandhill cranes, shouldn't we at least pay attention? Paying attention is an ongoing act of reciprocity, the gift that keeps on giving, in which attention generates wonder, which generates more attention and joy. Open and attentive, we see and feel equally the beauty and the wounds, the old growth and the clear cut, the mountain and the mine. Paying attention sharpens our ability to respond, to be responsible.
moment to rise in body or spirit, to connect, and to sing, "We Are Not Our Own." We are not our own, earth forms us, human leaves on nature's growing vine, fruit of many generations, seeds of love divine. We are not alone, earth names us, past and present, peoples near and far, family and friends and strangers, show us who we are. Therefore let us make thanksgiving, and with justice living and aware, give to earth and all things living liturgies of care. Let us be a house of welcome, living stone upholding living stone, gladly showing all our neighbors we are not our own.
This congregation has a tradition and a spiritual practice of giving away half of our offering every Sunday. And the congregation chooses 12 community partners, one for each month, doing important work to heal the world, starting in our local community. And our community partner in this month of March is the Wellspring Women's Center. The Wellspring Women's Center has a hospitality center in the Oak Park neighborhood. It's been around for over 30 years, and it provides support services, hospitality, breakfast and lunch for women and their children, women or children who are in need of support, of respect, of affirmation of their inherent worth and dignity. It also provides case management services, counseling, connection to community resources, and it serves about 200 people per day. The Wellspring Women's Center is a new community partner for us this year, and so we invite you to stop by the partners table, which is just to the left of the door as you head toward the front entrance. And I believe Bobby will be at that table, so you can find out what it does and some practical ways, a variety of practical ways that you could be of support to the Wellspring Women's Center. We appreciate your generosity to our community partners and to this congregation's work. Our offering will now be given and received. Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Irina, and all of the selections that Irina, musical selections that Irina chose today are by women composers or composers who arranged the music. So thank you for Women's History Month. As Rachel and Pat bring our offerings forward, please join us in our unison response. May generosity bless our world, and may gratitude nourish our spirits.
Though I live relatively nearby in San Mateo, I have recently spent a great deal of time at the home where I was raised, as family members have been negotiating the changes that come with age. The house in which I was raised is in the Ingomar neighborhood of the North Hills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the Shawnee and Osage people originally lived. I am a part of that land. I understand it, and it understands me. I grew up on Pine Road, where indeed there were and are very tall pine trees that stand sentry, home to hawks, crows, jays, and the occasional owl. To catch the bus for school, I walked up Pine Road to Sunset Road, where, appropriately at the close of the day, I could watch brilliant sunsets during the gloaming, looking down on the undulating green hills that provide the topography of my own being. Cardinals, robins, blue jays, hawks, deer, squirrels, chipmunks, sticky red yew berries, apple trees, fireflies, pine, sunset, my natural companions. I am a product of this place. It shaped and formed me and gave me a sense of who I am in relationship to the land and creatures, the air, and the waters around me. And I am just as much a product of the Unitarian Universalist congregation in which I was raised, just a mile up the road from that childhood home. On one of these visits back, I had the experience of freshly understanding my relationship to the land. I felt the bird song in a new way. I hear it and I recognize it differently than any other bird song. These are the trees that I have known and have known me all of my life. I began to get the message that the land was calling me home. I began a long process of figuring out how to return to stay, and now that time approaches. I'll move back to Pittsburgh to a house about a mile from where I was raised in June. The call to my homeland has been strong and insistent. We are each the product of the places we have come from, and we are also intimately connected to the place in which we currently dwell. We are nourished by the air, water, foods, and beings that surround us. Where are you from? What landscape speaks most deeply to you and through you? What is the landscape of your soul? The world feeds us warped messages about what really matters and about our worth. Through constant advertising, we are told directly and subliminally that we don't have enough, We can never get enough, and we certainly can't ever keep enough. What if the truth is literally the opposite of those messages? In a book that you may have heard about or read, from which you just heard a quote this morning, Braiding Sweetgrass, the scientist, author, mother, professor, and member of the citizen Potawatomi Nation, Robin Wall Kimmerer, writes the following. In a consumer society, contentment is a radical proposition. Recognizing abundance rather than scarcity undermines an economy that thrives by creating unmet desires. Gratitude cultivates an ethic of fullness, but the economy needs emptiness. Gratitude doesn't send you out shopping to find satisfaction. It comes as a gift rather than a commodity, subverting the foundation of the whole economy. Gratitude leads to contentment. Therefore, I propose that we remember to practice gratitude. Kimmerer writes, gratitude may seem like weak tea, given the desperate challenges that lie before us, but it is powerful medicine, much more than a simple thank you. Giving thanks implies recognition not only of the gift, but of the giver. Gratitude is founded on the deep knowing that our very existence relies on the gifts of other beings. Gratitude is founded on the deep knowing that our very existence relies on the gifts of other beings. Our own health, the health of the planet, and the health of our congregations and communities depends on our ability to understand that our existence relies on the gifts of other beings. Humans, of course, are only one thread in the garment of destiny, the brilliant tapestry of life, the ecosystem. Again, Robin Wall Kimmerer. For much of humans' time on the planet, before the Great Delusion, which I love that she calls what's happening now the Great Delusion, I just want to say, for much of humans' time on the planet, before the Great Delusion, we lived in cultures that understood the covenant of reciprocity, that for the earth to stay in balance, for the gifts to continue to flow, we must give back in equal measure for what we are given. And so, soon, here in this congregation, you will enter into the season of stewardship at the UU Society of Sacramento. And in preparation, I invite you to pay attention from week to week how the gifts of this community flow into you, into your life, and shape the very living of your life. You might notice how the religious education offerings deepen your spirits and encourage your children and youth to be more fully, brilliantly themselves. Pay attention to how the gorgeous music allows you to become a part of something larger than yourself. Notice how the messages offered by Reverend Lucy and Reverend Roger and Rosemary stay with you throughout your days. How you are introduced to thinkers and writers and artists, activists, and regular people who inspire you to more fully live out your highest values. You might pay attention to how your friendships have developed and deepened here over time. How the community has held and cared for those going through the hardest of times. Notice that you have changed things about your own life because you've been inspired here. Pay attention to the resilience that was demonstrated by your leaders through the pandemic and to the ways in which the larger association supported all of our congregations. Here, in this precious place, you'll find support and friendship for a number of refugee families from Afghanistan who have become part of this community and part of your families. Here you will be inspired to continue doing internal work on racial justice, equity, and inclusion. This spring, you'll be putting solar panels and landscaping in your meadow with native plants and clover. Your values are being lived out here, and your lives are richer for it. Once we pay attention, we can see the real bounty that surrounds us. We can feel the abundance blessing our lives, thanks to the gifts that constantly rain down on us without slowing or stopping. These are not material gifts, but the gift of each moment, each breath, a sip of water when thirsty, a warm sunbeam when cold, the smile of another's eyes above a mask, the visitation of the crow on the fence post, the hummingbird drinking from the fuchsia, the branches of the tree providing shade in the heat, the moss softening the path, the brown grass on the hills beginning to green, the arrival of the poppies as the skies warm, the berries, the salmon returning to spawn, the corn tortilla filled with warm beans and cheese, the music of the waves along the coast, the scent of eucalyptus, jasmine, roses as we walk or roll along. Life is beautiful. Once we know the truth of our interconnectedness, we are moved to respond because we have been paying attention. And so one of those ways to respond is when this community asks for annual pledges of commitment. It can be understood as a sacred opportunity to enrich others as we have been enriched. Stewardship season is genuinely, I do work in stewardship, okay? I get it, that I think it's a cool thing. But genuinely, stewardship season is another blessing because it's an opportunity to move in a direction other than the consumer mindset that would have us believe that it is what we would buy, collect, or hoard for the future that defines us. This is an opportunity to practice what it is to be in a gift economy. It is to receive the blessing that has been offered and to move that energy forward, to transform it the way plants turn sunlight into energy. Kimmerer states, gifts from the earth or from each other establish a particular relationship, an obligation of sorts to give, to receive, and then to reciprocate. And writer Lewis Hyde notes, it is the cardinal difference between gift and commodity exchange that a gift establishes a feeling bond between two people. We often sing, from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. And this may be the most theological piece in our hymnal. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Kimmerer continues, the fundamental nature of gifts is that they move, and their value increases with their passage. The more something is shared, the greater its value becomes. In the gift economy, gifts are not free. The essence of the gift is that it creates a set of relationships. The currency of the gift economy at root is reciprocity. Affiliation with this congregation comes with a bundle of responsibilities, and these are sacred responsibilities because they allow us to demonstrate our interconnectedness, to practice paying attention, and to keep the energy of generosity moving and flowing. One of the poets I turn to again and again is Rainer Maria Rilke, And particularly, I love the volume of Rilke, which was translated by Anita Barrows and Joanna Macy. In one of the pieces in that book, the poet is speaking to the divine and says, "We are cradled close in your hands and lavishly flung forth." We are cradled close in your hands and lavishly flung forth. In the backyard of my childhood home, I always take time to walk again in the backyard where the yard borders on a thicker forest. And along the edge there grows the plant so reminiscent of my childhood, the touch-me-not, or jewelweed. Do you know it? Does anyone know it? Okay, some do. Its scientific name is Impatiens capensis, but we call them exploding pods. Now do you know what I mean? Okay, these little pods grow hugely plump, hidden under the cover of perfectly positioned leaves. Again, nature is so cool, just like designed to be so cool. So when an animal in the forest brushes past the leaves, the pod is touched and propels the seeds shockingly far across the forest floor. As kids, we would love to sit in the midst of the plants and see who could find the fattest one, and we'd set them off for what seemed like hours. The Rilke poem reminds me of the touch-me-not pods and how they so lavishly fling forth their seeds, ensuring new growth and new life. The existence of a strong, vibrant Unitarian Universalist congregation in Sacramento is necessary for this city. UUSS offers a fundamental lifeline for those in need of an open-minded, open-hearted, justice-oriented approach to life in our state's capital. This place shapes the lives of children, youth, teens, young adults, and elders at all stages of development, who in turn take these values out into the enrichment of the larger community. This congregation, the Garden of the Soul, has grown and cultivated ministries of all kinds: teaching, art and music, government leadership, parenting and partnership and eldering, healing, philanthropy, technology and innovation, ministry for the earth, justice-making, and parish ministry. We are planted and nourished within a congregation. Here we are given the gift of being seen and named. Here we are cradled within the hands of the divine and shaped by community, and then we are lavishly flung forth to serve. As your life has been expanded through this congregation, as you have become more yourself, as you have been brought closer in touch with all that is sacred, you have received gifts. This congregation and those who came before have invested generously so that our lives might be enriched. And now I remind you that we have the opportunity to keep the gift moving. When all the world is a gift in motion, how wealthy we become. May it be so. Amen.
Celebrating life together, let us answer the call of love. 10:14. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love, and join together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to grow.
Thank you. As we prepare to extinguish the chalice, please join me in speaking our shared intention. We extinguish this flame, but we carry the light, love, and commitment of this gathering into the days to come. Invite you to reach out to us as we reach out to you. If you're at home, reach out to us. We're reaching out to you in benediction.
As you go, may the spirit of life and love and all things holy go with you. As you go, may you feel ever more deeply connected to the land, to this community, and to your soul. As you go, may you be inspired to pay attention and practice generosity. May you know that you are a blessing and beloved, and that you have gifts to offer this bruised world. This day will never come again. Go now and live. Amen.